Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you to a new episode of Out of the Park Baseball 19. So last week's experiment I think went pretty well. People seemed relatively divided on if they wanted two shorter episodes or one longer episode. Now, what made the last episode so long, obviously, was playing the live game and the... I'm sorry, my brain just completely collapsed. Was playing the live game and the fact that we were in the playoffs. And I want to thank both Aaron Sheelan and Random Human 19 for pointing out something I didn't realize at the time. I sure wish I did. I never set my National League roster, which people noticed quite clearly that, for example, Dick Schofield was hitting cleanup in Game 7 of the World Series. Now, I've talked about this before on the channel, in particular in my tutorial videos for OOTP 18. But nonetheless, lineup construction typically doesn't matter very much over the course of a full season. In Tom Tango's book called The Book, he does some linear weights regression and discovers that it's about one win per season between the ideal lineup and a suboptimal lineup. And the only thing that matters in the ideal lineup is that you order the players in order of on-base percentage. But in one particular game, to have the worst hitter on the team get more at-bats than some of the better hitters like Mo Vaughn probably didn't help. So you could certainly argue, I think correctly, that we kind of lost because of me. Holy crap, we broke 4 million in fan attendance last year. That's pretty sweet. So what we need to do now... So anyway, I just want to thank both those commenters again, Aaron Sheelan and Random Human 19, just for pointing that out to me. And I really wish I'd known at the time. We might have actually won the World Series. But I do want to talk a little bit more about lineup construction, and I'll do so as we're building our team tape. But I always start with the pitching staff. Actually, first we gotta cull the roster. We have 33 players. We just don't need that many. So step one, let's see. We need to get rid of... Now, I'm debating whether we want to go for... No, we're in pretty much standard pitching mode by 1990. You've got your 5-man rotation, and that's how it works. So we're going to go ahead and go with 12 pitchers and 13 hitters. Now, in previous baseball games, back in the days of High Heat, Triple Play, even the show when I still played the show on PlayStation, the best possible usage I've found for an AL team was to have 11 pitchers and 14 hitters. But I'm becoming convinced that at least in this version, at least in OOTP 19, because of the way pitcher fatigue works, you're kind of shooting yourselves in the foot with anything less than 12 pitchers. At this era of the game, let me make that perfectly plain. If you start a game in like the 19th century, you can have like... I don't think there's even roster limits in the 19th century, but if you want to have 25 players, I would literally take 22 hitters and 3 pitchers. Because pitchers were expected to start every single day. In this era, not so much. So we're going to find 5 pitchers that we don't want on the roster. I'm kind of disappointed by Chuck Finley. So if you look at his real-life career, Chuck Finley had a pretty solid career. Not Hall of Fame worthy by any stretch of the imagination, but pretty good. He pitched a lot of innings for a very long time, and he was pretty efficient at it, too. Just slightly above average, but not everyone can be a Hall of Famer. In our version, though, he's had exactly 1 season in the major leagues, and he didn't pitch... He pitched okay. You know, we didn't do that, did we? Before we do anything else, let's review the roster. It'll be good, since it's been a week since we played this last. Both for me, and possibly for you as well. This all has everything from this season. Shit. That's okay. We can change it. Last year. There we go. Chili Davis did it again, you guys. Every year, I think this is the year we should trade Chili Davis. He turns out has an amazing season like this. It is hard to argue with a catcher who consistently hits above league average and has multiple Gold Gloves to his credit. If we look at his career stats, he's already at 58 WAR, which is what I consider to be borderline for a Hall of Famer in our universe. In real life, if I went through a list of everyone who had 55 or more WAR over their career, most of them would probably be Hall of Famers. We've already hugely surpassed his actual production, which is great. But we've kind of had an unfair advantage with Chili in that he's been super cheap. And I've only got one more year with him. So we're going to think about what to do with him in the future. I'd like to keep him, but at this point he's a 30-year-old catcher who's caught 141 games or more his entire career. That's not a good health risk. He's been healthy so far. I think if we take a quick look, I think it keeps... Here we go. I just missed an injury history. He's never had a serious injury. Which, I gotta admit, probably means he's overdue. Chili's still really good. There's little to complain about with a player that's this good, this high above average in terms of OPS, who also delivers, career fielding. Man, that's really good for a catcher. So Chili was the team leader last year. Which, if we had captains, and I don't know why OOTP 19 doesn't let you designate captains, that'd be kind of a nice thing to add in the future. Right now, team chemistry of all the parts of OOTP 19 is, I think, the least developed, because it's not really clear who does what and why. Don Mattingly is, as he ages, starting to lose a tiny bit of power. He slugged at or around 500 for about from 82 to 87, mostly because he was hitting well above 300. I don't think that his isolated power has changed much. Let's look at his expanded stats. Yes, isolated power has been kind of all over the map, but it hasn't dropped precipitously until last year. Which just means that his slugging percentage was higher because he was hitting more often, which is something you have to consider. So he still hit for a good average. Didn't draw many walks, hit a decent number of home runs, had a decent number of doubles. It's hard to argue with him being, subpar, but he's not as good as he used to be. I don't want the advanced fielding stats, which are cool. I just want the ones I can just kind of eyeball. And he keeps getting moved between first and left, which, I'm pretty sure the real Don Mattingly did too. I know once the Yankees improved their outfield to a certain degree, he was pretty much in at first base the entire time. But Darryl Strawberry is starting to look like we've overpaid for basically home runs and nothing else, which is a shame, because his ratings suggest there's more to him than this. He is a subpar right fielder, but not so much I'm going to DH him. Of all the players on the team, he, I think, is probably the most overpaid right now. But I think there's more in him. I don't think 87 was a fluke. But I am concerned about how he seems to hit home runs and very few other extra base hits. I hope that improves in the future. Jose Canseco. I think I'm going to trade him. But maybe I should wait, because right now his value has never been lower. 1989 was pretty much an unmitigated failure for him because he only hit 216. And I don't care how many home runs you hit. If you hit 216, that's problematic. We're going to give him another season to see if he's earned a contract extension or maybe just a more advantageous trade. But trading him now, I think, would be a suboptimal decision. Mike Devereaux turns out to be one of the better imports. He is a bit fragile, but he did provide quality defense at center field while being at least somewhat productive offensively. Let's look at his defense last year. Yeah, he was actually kind of shit. Well, he's really more of like a secondary bat that on this team gets probably a little more playing time than he deserves. I'm curious to see how he performs over the course of a full season. But overall, he did provide a significant number of WAR. I need to remember to use the back button because then it just resorts the list. Tim McKercher got significant playing time at third base. And he did okay. He certainly hit, which is probably more than we can fairly expect from him most seasons. His third base defense was just under average. I can live with this in a third baseman, especially since we don't really have an upgrade available. Then we had Schofield, who remains just an awful, awful hitter, who nonetheless managed to generate plus value because he's such an amazing infielder. Let's talk about Pat Lennon. Lennon was very highly rated at one point by us as a prospect. And he was a big piece, in fact, the main piece of this trade that sent Tim Raines along. Orlando Merced is decent. He might get a bigger role this year. Dave Hansen is still in the minors. Not likely he'll crack the roster. Eric's actually did a little bit of Major League playing time. Lennon was supposed to be the centerpiece. And he's kind of not developed. He's a decent shortstop. I can't deny him that. He played wait, oh, here we go. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Actually, he's a below average shortstop. 44 errors. Okay, wow. So I'll tell you about Lennon's actually a terrible shortstop. Errors are a bad way to evaluate a player because they're so subjective. He led the league in... Lennon's looking like a bust. Yeah, I think Lennon is a definite area to consider trading. Maybe even we start the season by trying to trade him, but let's continue to review the roster before I forget any further. But Lennon has just been a bust for us. Mo Vaughn did very well in 100 at-bats. Hansen was okay. Oh, that's as a hitter. I don't care. Orlando Merced wasn't that great. So I think step number one... Oh, let's look at the pitching staff too. Rogers was brilliant. Clemens was brilliant, although I brought him in on free agency. Helen Anderson turned in a very strong season. Frugy and Welch were good. Only Jackson was actively bad. Another person who was great in real life has kind of turned into a bust in our version. So, I think before we do anything else, I want to explore the market for Pat Lennon. Because he's not good enough defensively to justify a non-productive bat. He's not Dick Schofield. I'd rather have Dick Schofield as my shortstop right now than Pat Lennon. He doesn't draw walks, which he's supposed to be doing. He strikes out way too frequently, and he doesn't have enough power to make up for a high strikeout rate. So what can I get for him? I could get John Vanderwall. Brent Maine. Could get Richard Evans back. A really good relief pitcher, potentially. Joe Girardi. I mean, these aren't like superstar type players, but this is, I think, at least something to work with. How good is Blueberg as a reliever? Blueberg is a borderline starting pitcher. Now, the problem, of course, with trading Lennon is it creates an opening that I can't actually fill right now. Because, I mean, my best prospect is Varnell, an outfielder. Darren Beer, a closer. I mean, there's Tony Graffinino. Graffinino is a better all-around defender. But he's also 17. I'd like to give him at least a year in the minors before I call him up. I don't have anyone in the high minors. So any trade I make is going to have to... Well, let's actually start with this. Because I remember seeing the trading block. Sean Dunson is arguably even worse. And he's probably more expensive. Mike Cole. Interesting. So Mike Cole would be a perfect fit for the top of our lineup at second base. And then I could just ship Schofield over to shortstop. Alright, so let's see if I can make this happen. Let's begin with the piece I want to trade, which is Pat Lennon. I can't afford the contract, that's fine. Because I'm sure he probably wouldn't take this anyway. Let's say, just take on enough of his contract. Okay, they really like this deal. Can I get more out of this deal? This is already turning to be a pretty good fit for us. Can I get... Yeah, okay. Now, Tim Salmon will look very nice in Toronto blue. Jose Hernandez. Bullshit. The real Jose Hernandez had, like, super huge tons of power. We could try to get him to throw in Hernandez, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, they just say no. That's reasonable. Vizcaíno, I mean... Could we get a Tim Salmon? Probably not. I'd like to see, like, offer a little more or make trade balanced button. Something like this, so I don't have to just go through the roster and find someone that I think they're likely to give up. Like Ricky Trilsack, I'm pretty sure you'll give him to me if I ask for him. Wow, very bad deal. Now, so the downside of this deal is that we're trading a cost control player. Actually, he's about to hit arbitration. We're basically swapping a 1-year player for a 1-year player, and Mike Cole is objectively better. Yeah. Can I get at least one other prospect? Just someone who might turn out to be surprisingly good at some stage. John Broxton. Surely you'll give me John Broxton. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. You've got a lot of good top-tier prospects, Cubs. I mean, Adam Brown would be interesting as a backup catcher. He's got a little bit of pop. I literally can't do that. Because he's too expensive. to the prospects, mate. Stick to the prospects. I think, you know what? I think we'll just take this. No, it's a lot to like. I'm going to see if I can get you to eat more of his salary. He'd need to think about it. I mean, I know my assistant GM is pretty peeved. But that's partly because of the type of player Lennon is. He's a high-speed guy who has superficially good-looking defense, which actually isn't that great because he screws up too much, and a bat that's always going to underperform. And so I'm fine with making this trade. Let's do it. And the team's kind of pumped about getting Mike Cole. That's nice. I realize that was a pretty major move, but I think it's the right move. Right. So the whole thing we're talking about was actually culling our roster. Let's send down Nunez. Davison. Maybe even Michael Jackson. I mean, maybe he needs another year in the minors to really sort his shit out. How many pitchers do I have now? 14. I still need to get rid of 2 more. I was trying to keep you on the roster, Finley, but you didn't make it this year. Sorry, mate. McKenzie's stuff, more importantly, his control could get better, and I'd like to see both of those things happen. But Green is a borderline starter. I think he needs the time in the minors more. All right, down to 12. Let's build the roster the way we want to build it. All right, so our ace is Roger Clemens. We paid a lot of money for him. He'd better be worth it. Then we've got Kenny Rogers. And Rogers, we're going to have a very interesting offseason because we have a lot of players whose term is almost up. Either through arbitration, Anderson will fill in as the 3rd starter. We have a lot of pitchers whose contracts are coming due. Then I think we'll do Welch and then Fruge. Mike Jones is going to be our primary backup starter. And now we build the rest of the team. Apple is our closer, and we'll bring him in the 8th inning. Actually, Stamina is good enough. I will have him go 8th plus. Mitchell did a great job in the stopper role last year. I see no reason not to give him that role this year. 7th and close game. One thing I think we don't need is I don't think we need 2 setup men. I think that's a bit useless. So we're going to go ahead and just go middle relief, middle relief. McKenzie. Do you have an extreme platoon split in the way you pitch? No. So actually, I will go ahead and just have you be a middle reliever then. I'm not sure. We're reaching the point in history where it's actually super helpful to have a lefty out of the pen who just faces lefties, but I don't think we're there yet. I think we're probably another couple years away from that happening. Is Helen Anderson like the last pitcher that we've actually captain developed? Since we traded Mike Morgan? Damn. Yeah, because Welch was a free agent. And Fruge was a free... No, Fruge was a draft pick. Holy shit. 35th round. That's a pretty impressive hurdle to overcome. I really love there to be... Actually, I wonder if it's actually... If it already exists before I criticize a game. Maybe I should see if it's already here. Like, there's a way to see how someone was acquired. Like... financial info... No. That would be a cool thing for me to be able to see at a glance, like how we built the roster. Obviously, Clemens was a free agent. Rogers was a trade. Anderson was draft. Welch was a free agent. Fruge was trade. Epple was free agent. Mitchell was draft. And I think a well-deserved one at free agent. Whaley, I'm not sure about. We literally don't know where he came from. That's encouraging. Like, seriously, where did he come from? How did he get... Oh, we drafted him. Okay. He was a third-round pick. McKenzie might be a draft. No, he was part of a trade. Lee was definitely part of a trade. And then Jones, I think, was drafted. No, he's part of a trade, too. Jones has a decent ceiling as a starter. I just want to see him improve the control. But he might very well be competing for a starting role next year. Especially if we lose Kenny Rogers, which we well might. Alright, so you got to get rid of 2 position players. I mean, I don't need 3 catchers. And a McCurcher is starting at third again this year, which I think he might be. Oh, where's my new dude? Here we go. So I actually have to get rid of... we still have to get rid of 2 players. Let's ship Schofield back to shortstop. His value actually improved slightly. Yeah, Alisea, you can just go straight to the minors. And I probably have too many outfielders. Actually, I know I have too many outfielders. Mattingly back to first, I think. Because I don't trust Mo Vaughn's ability to play first. And it opens up a spot. All right, let's put you back on first. We don't need this many outfielders. Because I'm going to have Vaughn DH. We can come up with a left fielder out of this mess. I'm going to send McCoy to AAA. Because he's been kind of getting owned ever since he came up to the majors. And I think he maybe had a little bit too much pressure. I want to see him develop a bit more in the minors. And then let's formally change Devereaux to center fielder. I know this is going to tank his value. Because he's not great at playing center. Just because we need that extra person. I got to send down Hansen. I can't not have a backup middle infielder. Which might actually end up being Alisea. Because I don't think I have anyone else. Can he play shortstop? He can handle it. He's fine. So Alisea will be my backup middle infielder. Yeah, I can't afford not to have one. It's just not an option for the team. Right. Let's take a look quickly. I know we've played 0 games. This is probably why these episodes are taking so long. This is why this is kind of a big year for us. Because we got Jose Canseco. His contract's up. Cole's contract is up. Schofield's contract's up, but it's harder to get excited about that. A lot of people earning raises in free agency. I would like to try to save some money with Kenny Rogers, because I do want to keep him. Because I think we're kind of reaching a crossroads. Our team used to be able on having a dominant lineup and a rotation that could support it. Now we're having a dominant rotation and a lineup that supports it. So the question I have to ask myself is this, because I probably can't afford both at a massive increase in budget. Am I prepared to punt on Chili Davis if it means keeping Kenny Rogers? I can't imagine a scenario where that answer isn't yes. Kenny Rogers is just too useful. So let's see if he wants a longer contract. Of course he does. Can I get you to sign for like $1 million? Just so I have a little bit more flexibility. No. We're still negotiating. And If I can get him for his arbitration estimate or less, we'll be in good shape. I can't get you signed for 1.3? No, he's pretty insistent. I often find, especially early in the season, as a pro tip, they will almost always accept their exact arbitration estimate. But apparently not Kenny Rogers. Damn, bro wants to get paid. I don't know if I'm willing to... Let's play through the season first, and then see how it happens before we start trying to negotiate with him. I might just wait until arbitration time actually hits, because he's mine no matter what. He doesn't get to not play for me next year. I'm still paying for part of Tim Raines' salary. I'm paying for him not to play for us, and I think that's a perfectly legitimate tactic. Canseco's definitely on the trade block this year. But we'll see what happens. Pitching staff. Already done. Let's build the lineup. Oh, let's actually make sure Clemens is ready to go. Yeah, he'll have enough rest. Let's nuke it. Let's talk about lineup construction, how I build my lineups. So Tom Tango suggests that the absolute best way is purely based on base percentage, which in our case is a combination of contact and batting eye. And right away, it should be painfully obvious who our leadoff hitter should be. Mike Cole. It's just not a debate. He's got the best eye on the team and the third best contact. We don't want Mo Vaughn hitting leadoff, although it'd be an interesting concept because his batting eye sucks. Mattingly's batting eye sucks too. And so, like, if we added these two numbers together, just as a quick and dirty way of determining who our leadoff hitter should be, Mattingly would be a 121, Vaughn would be a 120, Mike Cole's a 147. He's clearly the most suited to be our leadoff hitter. And he's got good speed. Now, I don't consider speed to be the sine qua non of quality defense, quality leadoff hitting. Speed is nice, but that's not the point of the leadoff hitter. The point of the leadoff hitter is to get on base. If you can steal bases, that's a bonus. So Mike Cole, no hesitation, becomes our leadoff hitter. Now, your number 2 hitter is basically should be like a second leadoff hitter, because they're going to get a lot of at-bats, and I value speed slightly more in a number 2 hitter for that reason. And I think Chili Davis is going to be our number 2 hitter. He offers a good mix of everything you want in a hitter. We want him to get tons of at-bats because that's what he's good at. And it makes sure that our very best players fit the traditional heart of the order. Now, Don Mattingly's been our number 3 hitter for years. I see no reason to change it. Mattingly it is. So typically, your best pure hitter, power really starts to matter in the number 3 spot. The fact that Davis is a power hitter at number 2 is a huge bonus for us. But Mattingly is where it's at. Now we get to one of the first tricky decisions. Who should be our cleanup hitter? Now, cleanup hitters are often based largely on power. But for me, I also want to make sure that they've got a good batting eye and that they hit for good contact. All 3 things are valuable to us. And so this brings us to two possibilities, and whoever we don't pick here will be the number 5 hitter, so it's like they'll be being demoted. Strawberry's the best power hitter on the team. He's got a really great batting eye and pretty decent contact. But then there's Mo Vaughn, who's got ridiculously good contact, power almost as good as Strawberry, and an eye that's only slightly worse. Not to mention the fact that Mo Vaughn is still getting better. Mo Vaughn has the potential to be the number 2 contact hitter on the team. And so we want to make sure he gets lots of at-bats to see what he can do with this, to see if he can improve. Okay, Strawberry wants to be in the middle of the lineup, which is 3, 4, 5 holes. That's fine. He won't be a whiny little bitch if we put him in at 5th, which I bet Canseco will be. No, he just wants to be in the starting lineup. Okay. So I think we go ahead and put Vaughn in at cleanup for now. He's just too good a hitter not to. Mo Vaughn, you will be our designated hitter. I'm still not going to build my National League lineups yet, but we will do so if we make the playoffs again. Because Interleague play didn't really start till 1994. So we're fine until then. Okay, so we've got our top 4. Strawberry easily slots in as number 5. Now, once you've set the top 5 spots in the lineup, all you're really trying to do is make sure that the better hitter, something that offers something positive to your team, gets more at-bats. That's kind of the objective at that point. So Canseco is clearly the best of the rest. If we look at everyone who isn't green, Canseco's the best hitter of the rest of them. Because he offers extra power. And it's always good to have that in a 6th place hitter. Notice I'm not looking at lefty-righty split, which I probably should be doing. But it's not a huge deal for us, I don't think. Not yet, anyway. Because we're not really in the platoon era. That really starts to come again in the mid to late 90s, which we're still a few years off of. And I also don't like this view for looking at handedness, because, so to my eyes, unfortunately, you can't change the order of columns. I really wish you could, but you can't. I would love to just be able to grab a column and just go, boop. I'd rather, because I want to see the contact for right versus contact versus left right next to each other. So let's see, 55, 48. No one's got an extreme platoon split that I'm seeing. Merced has a bit of one. Maybe platoon Merced. A lot of our players are like, McCurtry actually has a split. Our most extreme platoon hitter is actually Cole, who seemed to struggle a bit against lefties, but he still has a tremendous batting eye. Actually, if I had another leadoff type hitter, I'd actually platoon Cole. This is pretty damning evidence. His eye is higher. He's just a better hitter against righties. Unfortunately, I don't have a platoon partner for him that I'd also like to hit leadoff. Actually, this is probably going to make Canseco mad. So let's picture like an ideal inning. Or let's just picture like, let's picture a bad day. So Cole, Davis, and Mattingly would hit in the first inning. Vaughn, Strawberry, and the 6th hitter would hit the second inning. So ideally you want your 7th hitter to be actually to be a pretty good hitter. And so actually I think Devereaux fits in nicely as our 7th place hitter and our center fielder. Alright. And then McCurcher and Schofield. We don't really have much of a choice. Because those are the only players that can handle those positions with any kind of skill. And there we go. The starting 9 for the Toronto Blue Jays. I really think Cole's going to be a nice addition to the roster, even if we only have him for 1 year, which seems pretty likely, actually. I can talk to him about an extension, but I'm pretty sure we can't afford it. This is oh wow. This is actually a pretty reasonable contract. I think we need to shed some salary, if we can. Some long-term salary, which doesn't give me a lot of options. Because we've actually managed to do a pretty good job of keeping our contracts reasonable. There's no one I could trade at an obvious salary dump. Especially since we're we kind of just reloaded for a year. We didn't actually rebuild. And so we're still considered a veteran competition team. We're going to have to see what happens. I think for now, though, we just go ahead and start, because I've talked your ears off for a bit. Which I guess is kind of my job, except in the sense I don't actually get paid for it. The Lennon deal might bite us on the ass later, but I think it's a good 2 to 3 seasons away. What Lennon needs is a team where he can play in AAA. And we still don't have a lot of prospect depth where I can afford to do that. Top 100 prospects. That's a damn good prospect list. Oh, the Phillies got Pedro. Oh, shit. Yeah, he's most definitely a first-round draft pick. I don't think anyone would argue with that. That's a pretty scary top 10 list. I'm tired of complaining about the A's at this point. The A's are just going to win like 7 World Series in a row at some point if they can get their shit together. I would kill for a prospect base like theirs. But let's play some games, and I will take a quick drink. Today's drink of choice is a half and half iced tea and lemonade. Very refreshing in the early morning hours. The Indians just spanked our asses. Maddox shut us out. We shut out Clemens. Schofield wants a new deal. Pros will be back in a few weeks. I really like Dick Schofield. He doesn't want very much money, but the sad part is I still can't afford to pay him. Really could do better at shortstop. We just haven't yet. Getting Prez back early would actually be a nice little boost to our roster. 2,000 hits for Tony Gwynn. Nice. Alright, so we're 10 and 15, but it's only the first month of the season. Let's take just the quickest of peeks at what's happening. I want team home screen. We just pretty much suck across the board. Okay. Good to know. Don Mattingly's off to a hot-ass start, as is Cole. Yeah, this is just... The team just sucks early. Ooh, Dale Strawberry's having a good season. Alright. Let's give it another month. I know I've said this like pretty much every episode, but I think it's worth saying. It's almost never pays to overreact to the first month of the season. Probably no one even has 100 at-bats yet. Or if they do, it's just over 100 at-bats. Who's hurt? Cole? Just sprained his thumb. Don't be a baby. Batter stats. Nope, from this year now. That's my fault. Yeah, we just have a couple people just peeking over the 100 at-bat line. One thing we should be doing is maybe being a little bit more aggressive about resting certain players if they get hurt. I don't think we're there yet, though. Oh, wow, I did not generate depth charts. Whoopsie. That was my fault. I totally spaced. So which means we probably got, like, Darryl Strawberry playing in, like, center field or something when, Devereaux needed a break. It's fine. Let's play through another month, shall we? Yeah, Vaughn, Canseco, and Devereaux are all starting off cold. Hopefully they'll heat up in the month of May. Wait, how can he suffer... Wait, he's not out? He's day-to-day. Yeah, he's day-to-day. Don't freak... Oh, that was Devereaux. No, it was Cole. Don't be like that. Don't scare me. Basically, you fought the depth charts. You just want a little bit of a mini winning streak there. Alright, Pascual Perez coming back is brilliant. Jones has such a good future. A good potential for a future. I'm going to send him to AAA. He's one of the first pitchers we had that's actually gone up the normal way. Yeah, I'm going to send you down to AAA. I don't need you just sitting in the back end of my bullpen. I need you starting. And then we'll pull Perez off the DL. Alright. Welch is having kind of a rough year. He's striking out more, but he's walking more too. What about Anderson? Anderson's doing what I've asked of him. I think Welch is going to be the one that gets the demotion. And Perez will get the rotation spot. And you can go down and relax in the bullpen. Mitchell's been a bit of an issue. What's happening with Mitchell? He's walking a lot of people. That should hopefully... This is so much higher than his normal career stats. I expect this to adjust itself as we just play. Which reminds me, how are we doing on coaches? How does Jeff Thomas get along with our current pitchers? He's a finesse guy. I literally have no finesse pitchers. What about Jimmy Peak? He has no focus. What about Jesse here? Neutral. Allen, finesse. Dunn, ground ballers. What if I promoted you to becoming our major league? First, let's offer extensions to everyone. What if I promoted you to being the major league pitching coach? I mean, let's leave Thomas for now. Who's my best manager in the system? It's actually Koyama. How does he get along well with people? Oh, a lot of people actually kind of hate him. Okay. Alright, we might just find a new bench coach or just re-sign him. I mean, how's Bob getting along with the team? Really, like, virtually everyone likes him. I mean, Chili Davis doesn't like him, but, you know. I think we'll just re-sign Chavez. I think he does a pretty good job. I'd also like it to be less obtuse what effects coaches have exactly. I think that would be a fair thing to add. Oh, and we might lose our scouting director. He's really good. I like him quite a bit. I've never understood, and maybe players can share their own opinions, what benefit there is to having scouting reports run manually. Unless you're thinking of maybe trading for someone, and you want to see what your scout thinks of him. I guess that actually wouldn't be the worst idea. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to extend his contract as well. One thing I'd like to see OOTP adopt, I think scouting in NHL just feels a lot nicer. And the way they deal scouting. It feels like scouting actually has an impact. Where in OOTP it's less obvious. That was another nice little winning streak. We just need to put together like a consistent run of good luck. And then I think you'll find us just like now at the top of the division. A personal message. Player development. I really wish this was in some kind of order. You know, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to use the actual player development report. Can I filter? I cannot filter. That's disappointing. He's actually getting a touch worse, which isn't great. Clemens is getting... Holy shit, his control just shot up. That was his 1 weak point. 44 is still not great, but that's pretty good. Vaughn's contact's getting better. Potential's getting better. His eyes dropping a little bit. Mattingly's going to probably start decaying at this point. Which is, you know, he's getting kind of old. That's understandable. McKercher. Strawberry's getting better. Nice. Right, let's look at the youngsters. Davison's gone. I'm going to go ahead and designate him for assignment here in just a second. When you're losing velocity and you didn't have that much to begin with, that's questionable. Can Hansen actually play third base? He can actually play third base. Okay, this raises an interesting conundrum. I'm going to give him some more time to think about it. It still goes back to the top. That's really irritating. I think we will just do it through the email because I have more options with what I can do. I'm just going to go ahead and just waive Davison. If he's losing velocity, that's not super great. This doesn't even list the entire player development report. That's fine. I can find Davison pretty quickly. Let's change him to third base. I want to see what his ratings look like. We're going to force him to play at third base. Because if we can develop him as a third baseman, he's going to replace McKercher. Especially because McKercher's off to a terrible start this season. I mean, as a catcher, he's not bad, but as a third baseman, screw it. Right. Here's what we're going to do. Set position catcher. Hunt to the minors. Hansen to the majors. I'm going to go ahead and play Dave Hansen at third base. So let's immediately address that before we make any other changes. McKercher is no longer the starting third baseman. Hansen is. Now, the only thing I worry about is that I hope that our bench coach isn't in love with McKercher. The way the game actually gets, like, falls in love with certain players. And isn't like, I'm just going to swap him out every other day. No, they're trying to get him some starts at third base, but I think he is better off as our backup catcher. That helps a lot, I think. It's going to be interesting to see how Hansen does, but I think this is a good call. For a player who could potentially be a very useful little hitter to us. I love that discipline and contact. He profiles well as a number 2 hitter if he develops. Right. See what the player development report can do for you? You can also choose to filter with all reports. You could change the time frame. I just wish this report was... I wish a lot of these reports were a little bit more user-friendly. Let's look at the top prospects report. Matt Crouch is our number 3 prospect. That doesn't say much for our team. I have high hopes for Graffinino being a Dick Schofield replacement down the road. Except he can actually sort of hit. He's having a very good year in single A. No, I don't think he's important enough to us that I would start taking over his development. But he's actually having a pretty good year in single A. We'll see how he does. Let's look at the rest of our team. Vaughn's contact is a bit disappointing this year. All right, we're going to make one other change to the lineup. All right, are we ready? This is purely based on who's having the better year. Strawberry will bat 4th, and actually we might even have Vaughn hit clean of 6th. How's Canseco's year so far? Canseco's pretty hot. Let's just wait a bit before I make any other changes there. What about pitching? John Mitchell's having a bad year at this point. And 26 innings isn't a lot. And I still believe that he's going to cut his walk rate more, which I think is his biggest issue. I've got to take him out of this important role, and I've got to find a new reliever to take over. Actually, you shouldn't be set up either. Actually, I'm thinking I'm going to go back to the 2 setup reliever model. I want you in the 6th and Lee in the 7th. There we go. Because Mitchell's getting the lion's share of innings, and he's just not earning them. So we'll see what happens now that their lineup's kind of rebalanced. Rotation's kind of rebalanced. Or, not rotation, whatever you call it. Bullpen. That's the word. There we go. Apple's performing nicely as a closer, though. We're kind of bouncing around. That's not... I don't like seeing that. A proposal of the trade variety, you say? You'd give me Jeff Rabelais, an okay shortstop, and Eric Wedge, not a bad catcher, and you want Randy Lind. I mean, Lind is a decent hitter. He's not great, but he's decent. I probably wouldn't let him start. I want more. Can I get Pedro? I would pee my pants if you give me Pedro, but you're not going to give me Pedro. Oh, you can't give me Pedro. Oh, Brian Daubach. No, I can't have him either. Damn it. Rod Byerly. I mean, that's a pretty good bullpen guy. Not right now, but he will be very soon. I gotta try to milk this for all we can. Reddington's kind of trash. David Ritchie, no. Can I get Kenton Merker? They love me so much for some reason. I legit think... Okay, Tom Reddington's where you draw the line. Fair enough. Scott Meadows? How on earth are you not happy with this ball? We're trading... Like, is OSA secretly rating him as, like... He's an okay outfielder. I'm getting a new middle infielder he's better than Alisea and could probably start in a pinch. We're getting an interesting minor league catcher who we know is going to be a great manager someday. Which wasn't that great. We're getting a legitimately great relief prospect, a very good reliever now, and an outfielder who arguably is only a little bit worse than Lind. How much more do you want? Done. That move right there is probably one of the best I've ever made. It does reduce our outfield, though. So let's get rid of Alisea and call up an outfielder. McCoy? Yeah, I think McCoy. Let's generate us a depth chart. No, McCoy is absolutely not getting that. I wouldn't mind letting Rebele actually have a chance to start every now and again. I mean, he's a better hitter than Schofield, but, you know, so am I. And I mean that literally me of Indian, and I'm actually a terrible hitter in real life. I'm very bad at baseball in real life. Yeah, I think we'll give Rebele some playing time and just see what he can manage. Yeah. Wow. I don't know why the AI made that trade with me. I would not have made that trade in the reverse, for sure. Where's Merker? I was going to call him up. Where is Merker? Plus, there's Varnell waiting in the wings, and he's an interesting player. He is interesting. Yeah, where did Merker go? Oh, you sent him down to single A for some reason. That's not very nice of you. I could task the AI to quickly reshuffle the minor league system. It's doing it anyway. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. Damn. I don't know why on earth they made that trade, but I'm gonna take it. Ooh, 5 hits for Don Mattingly. Nice. Okay, mate. You can't do this. You can't say, I want you to make the playoffs, and also I want you to have an amazing bullpen. Or prospect system. That's not how it works. Canseco wants to come back. I know our pitching coach is getting ready to leave. I'm fine with that. Man, Chili Davis is just... I don't know what to say. I don't know how we got so lucky. Let's go up to the All-Star break. No. I like Rick Manning. I am not giving you Mike Jones. I can't. And McKercher might actually end up being a starting catcher someday, so I'm not going to make that deal either. Well, there goes Pascual Perez again. Mike Jones just went on the DL too. Shit. Chuck Finley. You're getting your time to shine, sort of. We'll put Finley in the rotation. I mean, Welch hasn't been that great this year. He's actually contributed decent value. I'll give Welch another shot in the rotation. Did you take him out with a tire iron, Chuck Finley? Were you that upset about not making the majors? Wow. The back end of our rotation could use an upgrade. Rogers and Clemens are fantastic. Anderson is decent. I've got a feeling this ERA is probably inflated. Let's take a quick look at pitching stats. Why would you want... I hate this thing so much sometimes. Yeah, looks like he's been kind of victimized by bad defense in some stage, at some sense. Because his FIP is actually quite a bit lower than his ERA. So the question becomes, is our defense that bad? And if so, is there a quick change I can make to fix that? Not rating stats. There we go. Canseco's pretty shit in the outfield. Actually, our entire defense kind of sucks. That's unfortunate. Except for Schofield, who's amazing. Oh dear. I can't fix the defense quickly, though. Not without torpedoing the lineup. We probably have the worst defense in the majors, don't we? Oh, there's one team with worse defense than us. Yeah. I don't know who's supposed to teach defense in OOTP. Alright, you know what? Canseco's just better than you this year, Mo. I'm swapping you. He's just better. I still think you've got a very bright future ahead of you, mate, but I need to take you out of these key situations. Your contact rating, you should be hitting close to 300. And if you were hitting close to 300, I think we would see a very different season from you. But I'm prepared to take my lumps and expectation that you'll one day prove me right. 160 for isolated power is actually not bad. Let's sort the team by isolated power. Actually, he's actually one of the worst power hitters on the team, and never mind. Man, Darryl Strawberry's just taken over this season. As is Chili. This is a good season. I made a good decision firing the hitting coach last season. He apparently was holding us back. I forgot you're even on the DL. Just go straight to AAA. Let's rehab him. How's Hansen handling third base? Not great, but not bad. Alright. Nice. Alright. Clemens made it. Kenny Rogers didn't make the All-Star team? Okay. There's Tom Epple. There's Chili Davis. There's Don Mattingly. Bryce Canseco didn't make the All-Star team. I'm most surprised about Kenny Rogers, to be honest with you. But we still got 4 All-Stars, so I'm cool with that. What about over in the National League? Anyone we know? Nope. Wow, Don Mattingly couldn't even crack the top 3 in voting. That's disappointing. Chili Davis, 1 catcher with a landslide. Clemens was a number 2 pitcher. That's good. Let's proceed. All right, we need a sustained hot streak. And we need it against the Orioles, because I think that's going to be our key. Ooh! That is a kick in the junk for Anderson. All right, Jones is healthy. You're up. Even right now, Jones is more polished than Finley. I'm going to go ahead and let Jones have a rotation spot. I know we're in first place, but I'd feel a lot better if we could, like, sweep the Orioles. Cole wants an extension. I would love to give you one, but we probably can't afford it. No. Oh, boy. Where is Sill? Hey, seriously, I have no clue where Sil Camposano is. Confessor Castro. That's such an amazing name. Oh, I should grab it. Disable this? No. One of the commenters, I think it was Random Human, it might have been someone else, thinks maybe we should turn down injuries. I'm fine with them as they are, but I do get that argument. I just think here he is. Here's Sill. I'll put you on the 40, man, and you can just stay in AAA. I'll designate you for assignment. Oh, god damn it. So to literally have to wave him through... I should have just designated him for assignment, but it's fine. Roger shut out Texas. That's good. I mean, you're really eager to go to Dan Petrie. I don't know why, but is he like a millionaire? No. I mean, he's not that good. I mean, neither is Merced, to be fair. But yeah, I'm just not going to touch that. Anything we could do to improve our team? Vaughn's starting to get a little bit warm. Not hot, but warm. I could bump up Devereaux, maybe. Bullpen's improving. Rotation's stabilizing for now. Let's look at our lineup. Batter stats. Nope, Robolet's actually even worse. Okay. I'm not going to bench him for Schofield then. Let's actually let Schofield just play more. Is Vaughn just like being victimized by just like an awful BABIP this year? His BABIP is actually above average. He's just not doing anything with the ball once he hits it. That's disappointing. But it means there's room for improvement. You never want to see a team where everything's running perfectly because it means that things are about to go very, very wrong very, very quickly. Today's a trading deadline. I think I'm going to flip McCurcher. Because I think a lot of people are going to be distracted by the fact he's not a terrible catcher. But he's really an awful hitter. I'd be selling low on him. You know what? We're not going to trade him. So the million-dollar question becomes, do we trade Canseco? Alright, so let's look at the salaries again. It's always helpful to look at this. In the next 2 years, we could lose Apple, Canseco, Rogers, and Chili Davis. I'd I'd like to keep Mike Cole, actually, if I could. I think he's done a really good job of pulling this team together. Although second base is probably not so great. Yeah, he's actually kind of a bad second baseman. Fruge is due a nice bump. Devereaux is too. Shit. Yeah, we've got hard decisions to make, and Canseco, I'm guarantee his demands are probably insane. Yeah, not an option. We need to see what happens at the end of the year. I think we might maybe just treat next year as a rebuilding year and just let people walk if we can't afford them, rather than doing what we've been doing, which is try to backload contracts because we just can't afford it right now. We'll sign useful players, but we won't sign big league players. Yeah, I can't afford to re-sign many people right now. Let's try to maybe buy out some arbitration years. Let's try that. Devereaux wants like a major deal. He wants to get paid. Ooh. Am I fine with this? Because Devereaux's going to be our starting center fielder for a while. Like a while. Probably at least 3 to 4 years. So I'm kind of okay with this deal. Let's see if I can't maybe just take some of the sting out of it. Let's try to fool him a bit. I don't know if this is going to work. It might not. No, actually, it probably... No, yeah, let's increase the team option years. No, not by 1 million. Because then at this point, I just avoid his contract in 98, and my problem is solved. Would you take this deal? No. That's way too much money. I don't think he's worth that big a deal. Let's just go for 1 year. I'll just buy out your last year of arbitration. 500. 654. Nope, he's pissed at me now. Well, that's your own fault for wanting, like, all the money. Can we lock down Rogers? No. He wants the 1 year deal. Can I get you to take an even 1 million? No. 1.2 million. No. 1.3 million. Is he just asking for the same salary every time? He came down by 5,000. Alright. I've actually managed to pay him more than he wanted. But the thing is, once he signs his contract, our extension room will open up, and so we can make other decisions as well. I think Cole, of all the pending free agents, is the one I'd like to re-sign the most. Just because he seems to fit really well with the team. He doesn't want a lot of money. And I don't have a ready replacement for him until Graffinino is... I almost said fully charged. That doesn't make any sense. Jones is enjoying life in the majors. Rabelais got a bit better. Still not great, but a bit better. Yeah, the moment your defense drops, Schofield, is the moment I start hating you. Hansen got better across the board. McCoy got better. His potential contact shot up. Strawberry got better. Jester got better. We've got some interesting pieces in the minors, but we'll have to see what happens now. Let's play up to roster expansion. Okay. Fans are pretty pumped. Now we've got an option. Because now you'll notice we have a lot more money for extensions. Because we bought out his... We actually have barely any more money for extensions. We should have a lot more. I'm wondering if maybe that won't get updated until the end of the season. That's very possible. This lead over the Orioles is just so paper thin. We need, like, a big series against them. Otherwise, we're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think. And now we just got lapped by the Red Sox because we can't put together a sustained winning streak again. Oh, yep. The Red Sox just won on an absolute tear. That's unfortunate. Shutout for Welch. Rookie of the month is Mo Vaughn. There we go. He's starting to find it. That's very welcome. Anything I can do to improve the team at this stage? I could just bench Schofield. I mean, Schofield's glove, I think we're starting to get to the point where he can't make up for his inability to hit anymore. But he's also literally our only good defender. Schofield's not 27. He is 27. Okay. I think maybe we have to let Schofield walk in the offseason. Do we play Reveille? Who, as bad as he is at least a marginally, potentially better hitter than... I mean... He ain't hitting that well, though. Are there any upgrades I can make to this team now that we have 40-man rosters? Like, all of my upgrades, like, all of my immediate upgrades would all be in the bullpen. Like, I totally get that what we desperately need is, like, a better middle infielder, and I just don't have one yet. Graffinino's a long way away. Scott Whitley hasn't pitched much. He's actually been decent in the innings he's pitched, so I'm fine with him right now. Livernois isn't the worst choice. I don't know how to fix any of the problems we have right now, given our current roster. We've got a ton of stuff in the minors, but it's mostly bullpen help or players that are fairly far away. Like, Jose Lima is going to be a real good addition to the rotation, but he's also at least, I think, 2 years away, maybe even 3. Oh dear. There's a nice little collection of talent here. The best thing that could happen to us would honestly be like Pascual Perez or Alan Anderson just magically healing. What can I do in terms of pitching roles? This is another place I could maybe make some gains. You know what? Let's demote you from setup and put Austin Mocker back in the role. Yeah. Philly's actually done quite well in long relief. I'm pleasantly surprised. Alright, let's continue this. Let's finish the season. I don't know if we're going to make it or not. We need a winning streak against the Red Sox, basically. I don't know if we play the Red Sox again this season. Oh, the Orioles probably just smacked us for... Oh, okay. Alright, when do we play the Red Sox again? Okay, we're only one game back. And look where we finished the regular season. Yeah. Lots of people want extensions. I'm sure you want them too, but I can't afford to extend you right now. I am competing with the league baseline, right? I'm actually below baseline again? Damn. I need to spend more money. So if I win this game, we basically get a one-game playoff, I think is how it works. Let's look at the, sure, pennant chase, sure. Alright, so let me look at the standings. If we win this game, it's 93, we're both 93 and 69. Alright, you know what's going to happen? We're bringing out the big guns. I know it's 4 days. It's not your full rest, but you're still better than Welch on most days. Get in there, Clemens. I'm not going to play this game, but we will. Can Clemens manage it? Can we at least get to the one-game playoff? We won. But I'm starting to think it doesn't. I'm starting to think it didn't matter. I think we still might have missed the playoffs, maybe? No, there's going to be a playoff game. Yeah, we finished tied. It's not a weird three-way tie like we had that one season. Alright, guys. If there was ever a game I needed to manually play, this is that game, I think. If we win, we make the playoffs again. If we lose, we don't. And so I think what we'll do is once we finish the playoffs, I think I'll just end the episode rather than try to play through the off-season. Just to make the videos a little bit more balanced in terms of time elapsed. Let's go to it. Alright, so say they've got Roberto Alomar as their leadoff hitter. Jiminy Christmas. When it comes to the heart of the order, I think we're better. How does Don Mattingly have 55 overall all of a sudden? Yeah, screw you. I like Tony Gwynn. Don Mattingly's the better player. Agreed. We are going to make one change. If he's healthy. If he's ready, rather. You're not fully rested. But here's the thing. If we lose today, we do not make the playoffs. You're up, Kenny. There we go. Now I wonder... No, you still say you had the better pitcher. Britt Burns is not better than Kenny Rogers under any stretch of the imagination. Alright, let's go. Whew. Oh, this is a Jeff Rabelais day. Okay. We're at home. Kenny Rogers faces Roberto Alomar. Let's get this going. Come on, Keeney. And there goes Devereaux. Harold Baines batting second as the DH. Caught. And against Tony Gwynn. Now, Gwynn's going to be harder to keep control of. Wow, Mike Marshall's your cleanup hitter? Okay. Nice work. Alright, Mike. You're not great against lefties. We already knew that. Just make something happen. Wear him down if nothing else. That one's flying, but it's still going to be an out. You did your job. You made him throw 7 pitches to get you out. That's fine. And that's easily a... I'm going to have him go for third if it gives me the option. Oh, it's not going to. Okay. I don't know why he slid. He didn't need to. Alright, Mattingly, drive him in. That got him to third, so I guess that's something. Strawberry? Come on, drop. Damn it! Oh, we might not get a better... Well, Britt Burns isn't that impressive with pitcher. Maybe we'll get a better chance. We'll see. Oh, I heard that one. But it didn't matter because right to Rebel A. I don't like how slowly the right fielder's moving. Okay, there he goes. Can we stop hitting Machine Junior Felix? We can. Alright, come on, Canseco. You've been red hot. And you're the league leader in home runs. Let's make it number 40. Nope. That's a fly ball out. That was a good... He got a good rip on that one. Which he actually shouldn't have even been swinging at. Holy shit, mate. Here comes a Mo. There goes another out. How many pitches has he thrown? He has thrown 22. It's the bottom of the second. We might need to start having people take pitches just to wear him down a bit. Alright. Sean Dunston. Rabelais, that was a terrible time to screw up. And now we've got a runner on... I'm going to have you hold the runner. Because I don't want... I'm more scared of Dunston than I am of Curtis. So make sure you keep an eye on the runner. And that didn't work. Screw you, Chad Kurt. Oh god, he's even better at base running. This is bad. I need you to get an out. A bunt that he's going to get for a base hit. Whew. I'd rather pitch to Baines than Gwynn, even if it means giving up a run. Okay, Rogers. Let's get Gwynn out, which is going to be hard because he's Tony freaking Gwynn. Don't tell me he just got a 3-run homer. Whew. That was scary. That was super scary. Alright, Rebel, we're going to start wearing him out. Take the pitch. Take the pitch. Take the pitch. Bullshit, come on. Man. That was some garbage right there. Number 3 was not a strike. Not even a little bit. A walk for Cole. Hoyles has a decent arm, but Cole's really good at stealing. Let's see if I can't get second with Cole. There we go. A nice base hit. Swing away, Chile. Oh, really? A weak pop fly. That could have been a rally right there.
Strike 3, you're out.
Well, that's his first strikeout all game. He's starting to get a little bit low on pitches, though, already. He's had to work to get through this Boston lineup. Whew. Thank you, Kenny. Alright. That was a good inning. We really need to start putting some offense together. Yeah, he's nowhere near tired right now. Let's make Mattingly take a few pitches. I don't know if Mattingly had so much problem with lefties. That might be an interesting platoon opportunity if we get the right hitter. Man, this umpire's just giving him the strike zone. As far as that wasn't a bloody strike. Okay, we got a 3-1 count. I'm going to let Mattingly now take his own choices. Damn it, that was a bad choice. You had to swing at that one, though. The good news is we've got so many power hitters. I mean, they only have 3 people with 20 homers or more, right? We have 5. That any one pitch can change this game. And that's an advantage we have over them strategically. Alright, let it rip, Jose.
Strike 3, you're out.
I told him to let him rip, and he swung at a pitch that was, again... Burns is just painting the strike zone right now. We're close enough to it that the AI doesn't care. And Vaughn flies out. Damn it. Oh, really? Of all the players on the Red Sox lineup to give up a hit to Rogers, that's the guy you do it to. We need a double play. That would be delightful right now. Are you kidding me? That weak-ass shit made it over. This is bad. Rogers starting to come unglued. Let's send someone up to the mound. Alright. He says he's got plenty left in the tank. That was just to kind of give you a chance to refocus. There we go. Now let's keep that up. No, a wild pitch is... Oh, it was a double steal? You assholes. Okay. Can you handle Kenny Rogers? Nope, in fact, you're going to give up a run with that wild pitch. God damn it, Kenny. We can't afford to have you spotting them runs. I don't know how that wasn't an error unless you're just calling it just a wild pitch. The problem is they've got a really good lineup top to bottom. I mean, even their worst hitter, which is Curtis, is better than Hansen or Rebele. Good work, Devereaux. I'm going to give you permission to steal, Devereaux. We need to get something going. And we're out. Damn it, Devereaux! I'm starting to get nervous now. And I'm also not starting anyone in the bullpen, which is pretty stupid on my part.
Strike 3.
Because Rogers is quite clearly weakened. But you gotta get me through the heart of the lineup. If you can do that, Kenny, I think we got a chance. Left fielder's barely moving. This is probably an easy play. There he goes. Alright, good. Caminiti. Caminiti gets himself a base hit. That's fine. Can you contain Hoyles? You can. Okay. I got 5 innings out of you. I'm not going to push my luck because you've already pitched a lot of innings. We need a good 6th inning guy. And we're facing Felix Thompson at Cursus. Probably should be a righty. I think Whaley. I think he's a decent choice. Because I want to save my better relievers for the later innings, right? Yeah, 6 innings out of Rogers. I think that's reasonable. Alright, Cole. Get on base. That's not getting on base. That's a weak fly ball. No one seems to be getting a good piece of the ball, and Britt Burns isn't that good. Actually, this year's been amazing. Maybe I should stop making fun of him. Alright, come on, Chili. There we go. I will take a weak-ass little blue. If there's ever a situation made for hit and run, this is that situation. Get him, Mattingly. Did you just go yard? Yes! If we ever needed Mattingly to come through there, that was that time. Yeah, Strawberry gets on too. Nice. Canseco? Hits into a double play. They can't all be winners. Alright. I'm going to let him face Junior Felix.
Strike 3.
There we go. I'm going to basically let Rogers pitch until he gets into trouble. And if he gets me through the 7th inning, I will do a happy jig. He did not get me through the 7th inning. I'm not doing a happy jig. You know what? That was my fault. I tried to squeeze out one more inning. He couldn't handle it. Bring in Whaley. Come on, Whaley.
Strike 3.
Nice. Can you take care of Alomar for us? That was good work, Whaley. Very good work. You can sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at home if you want to. Come back. Let's warm up Assenmacher. 1, 2, 3 strikes and ball game. All right, Vaughn, we're gonna make this sucker work. Or he could throw 2 perfect pitches and you strike out. That was bullshit. He should not have control this good with 88 pitches. And Devereaux flies out. Well, Hanson gets himself a little single. Well done, Hanson. And that's an out. Let's go, Blue Jays. Assenmacher, get in there. I need this inning to be perfect. Maybe not literally perfect. Just get everyone out without them scoring any runs. I don't put too much pressure on you. Ooh, nice work, Devereaux. Oh, that was perfect. I could not have asked for a better inning. Apple, get your ass up in the pen. We could really do to unload on this team right now. Chili getting on is always a good start. Oh, that was Cole. Nope, that one's gonna die. Just in time for Felix to grab it. Alright, let's do the hit and run with Mattingly again. It worked well the last time. But he hit it directly to first, so... It got Cole up to second, so I guess that's something. And it's an out. They've done a really amazing job of just containing my team. It's the top of the ninth. This is what Apple is for. Get out there, closer. Got Caminity, Hoyles, and Felix. Take them out. Not to dinner. I mean defeat them. Starting by walking the leadoff hitter is not a super great strategy, I'm afraid. Ooh, nice diving stop, Canseco. Nice.
Strike 3, you're out.
Felix struck out. Wow, is he throwing a bunch of pitches?
Strike 3, you're out.
Got him! Yes! Whew. Mattingly. We just made the playoffs again. At least we should have. Yeah, we made the playoffs. Yeah, because we beat them. Let's just finish today, and then it should show us our playoff message. Excellent. We did win a very tight race. Alright, guys. Here's our plan. First, we need to check the playoff roster. Oh, Schofield got injured. I mean, it kind of sucks, I guess, but it just means Rebele is going to be our starting shortstop. Let's just go ahead and put Schofield on the DL for now. And that'll let us add someone else to the roster. I literally have no one else I can add. That was kind of dumb then. I'm effectively playing a man short this series. Let's go ahead and sim up to California Day. No, I've made the right choice. Can I just call up like Alisea up? And then would it let me add him to the playoff roster? I don't think it will, but it might. There we go, just so I have a person. Yeah, Rebele starting. And then we're going to... we have to do that, sorry, we have to do that over here too. Alright. Yeah, I think you're playing a shortstop. Generate. There we go. Let's look at playoff coverage. I don't like the idea of Bob Welch starting game one, but given that we needed to win those back-to-back games, I think using Clemens and Rogers when we did was the right call. Alright. The Angels are a scary team, though. We're actually very close. We're very compatible teams. Same record, except I played one more game. Which I guess by default means it wasn't the same record, but whatever. Clemens! Our chances just got a little bit better for game one. Oh, damn. What the shit? Wait, why can't I see the score? Oh, they changed the presentation in the recent update. Oh, it's 4-1. There we go. Did Clemens just get lit up? Yeah, he did. 7 innings. Good innings, but yeah, he got lit up. Jonesy. We got shut out. That's awesome. They only got 2 runs, but it doesn't matter. Come on, Kenny. There we go. Bob Welch. There we go. 3-2. Was this an extra innings game? No, it was actually closer than it looked. Okay. Alright. So series is tied 2-all. We need to get... Actually, I'd really rather have a 4-man rotation in the playoffs. Not that I don't like Fruge, but I don't like Fruge. Is Clemens rested? Yes. Come on, Roger. Show us what you can do. Show us the essence of Roger Clemens in this inning, in this game. Damn it! What the hell is with my starters when it comes to the playoffs? They always crap the bed. Quit giving up so many bloody runs, Clemens. Alright, game 6. Can Mike Jones... Oh, no, we don't want Mike Jones. We want Kenny Rogers. I like Jones, but I want Rogers. Unless he's not rested. He's got to go on 4 days rest. Ah, damn it. None of my starters pitched well. I mean, Rogers was decent in game 3, but none of them had, like, that moment game. Like, our best starter the entire World Series, the entire playoffs, was Bob Welch. Yeah, Alan Worth, he just dominated. Damn it. Well, damn. Montreal ends up. The wrong Canadian team got a World Series title. I can't even be that mad, though. That was... We fought our asses off just to make the playoffs, and then we just got beat. And it's hard to... So here's our biggest problem. Well, we'll talk about that next episode, what we're going to do in the off-season. And I think we will try to play through the regular season as well. But we'll see what happens, because it feels like this episode's already run quite long as well. Damn, check out Larry Walker's season. 10 WAR? Damn. Ivan Calderon's going to win another MVP again, I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to make some changes this offseason, and I don't know that they'll be good changes, but we'll see what happens. Two years in a row, 2 consecutive playoff appearances, though. Before we go, let's make the most obvious decision in decision history. Yeah, I'm gonna exercise this option. I almost clicked void. Whoopsie. Alright. We're gonna need a new pitching coach, but we'll take care of that next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. I think we did everything we could to win this year, and we just fell a little bit short because Roger Clemens didn't come through in the playoffs. I mean, I hate to say it, but he didn't come through when we needed him the most. And that, I think, is why we got bounced in the first round. Tune in next time for the 1991 season and the 1990 offseason. And a lot of things are going to happen this offseason. And we'll see what happens exactly. Thank you for watching. But until next time, this has been Avindian. And I bid you good day.